Public Safety Committee meeting for March 17, 2025. Councilor Gwaltney.
Here.
Wolverton.
Here.
Brandt.
Here.
Nelms.
Here.
And Harden.
Here.
All five.
We have a quorum. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to dispense the reading and approve of the minutes from the Public Safety Committee meeting from February 17th.
Second.
Councilor Nelms of the motion, second by Councilor Wolverton. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
John, are you an aye? You're an aye. 5-0. No items under old business. Under new business, we've got 060325, request for consideration of an ordinance to prevent parking at the Saulter Road Pocket Park for non-park visitors, brought to us by Councilor Nelms.
Yes, on occasion we have had, at first we had residents calling saying that there was a lot of parking during the day along the area, and then that died down. But now they're just parking in the park, and I guess
Probably
they're
students and then hop in the
Yes. Yeah, and I have an eyewitness here today.
It happened today. We started the playground installation today, and they brought the materials and we're going to lay down in the parking area. Except there were vehicles there, and so we thought it was contractors working at Sanford. So we ran it up the Sanford flagpole, and they notified public safety. We had license plates and all that, and they identified 2 students, and so they made their students come in their cars.
And
they've been parking there since the beginning
Right.
of the semester.
And so residents weren't able to do anything about the parking because we didn't have an ordinance yet, and so that's where this comes from.
So what is the ordinance going to be? Just so I'm clear.
Yeah,
How do we enforce that? Anybody?
Yeah,
I would
I think you
assume.
probably got to put a time limit on the parking to make it enforceable.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think police are going to know whether a car's sitting there as students or not students or whatever. But but you could make it a short time period because, quite frankly, most people aren't going to hang out in the park for hours at least at a time. So if you did it even just for an hour, say, an hour parking, then that would give the police the ability to enforce that, and I think that would probably solve the problem, especially the first few offenders where they actually got a ticket, and I think you would probably see some deterrence going there.
So we would put up signage.
We would have to put up signage there that said that, yes. You have to notice it.
Or we could try a park mobile here and make some money.
You could do that.
Is there any sign is there signage at all currently?
No.
No, because it's not regulated in any way because it's new.
But I mean, for park only or there's
No.
nothing? Okay.
Except for the handicap.
So our ordinance would need to state
like an hour long.
Yeah, there would be a time limit of an hour.
Definable by whatever.
Yeah, parking ticket.
Whatever the.
Yeah, it would just
Small
fall
print
into
is on the side?
Yeah, it would just fall into the same category as the other timed parking in the city.
So can we not make it for park only though?
You can. There's no problem with doing that. But all I'm suggesting is that the timing is easier for them to enforce than the parking.
But I'm saying it should.
But yes, you
seems like
can
it should be
do
a
both.
combo.
You can do
Parking
both.
for park users only and 1 hour limit or something.
Yep, I think you can put both in there.
I think that needs to be the
like
ordinance. Jaleel, go for it.
But you have to put signs up that have the ordinance on the bottom of them.
Yeah.
Yes, they would have to be posted just the same way that
Absolutely.
we posted everywhere else that we've got regulated parking.
Just a question. I'm not on the committee, but
Absolutely.
Of course.
so does everybody think an hour is long enough versus 2 hours? I'm the type of
It's a
person.
pocket park.
Yeah.
There's a swing and it's
Well, I mean,
hour's more than that.
Well,
If you read a book and you're 30 minutes in, then you're thinking about moving your park. I don't know. I just
I
asked.
think 2 hours is. of course,
2 hours is student time.
Yeah, I think it's a mechanism to allow for quickly
Policing.
being able to enforce it so the police
Yeah.
don't have to come by and be like, oh man, it's been 4 hours. So hour lets them go get a cup of coffee with Henry's, come back and write that ticket.
That sounds good. Okay, I just wanted to talk through that element
And I think
to
if
make
you
sure.
hit 2, you're talking about a student parking, going to class, coming back, and still getting out.
Yeah.
Because they can do that within that window. Okay.
We don't want them to get away.
I'm gonna give Jaleel a ticket.
Students think that it's pocket park.
You gonna deputize you.
Actually, it's closest
Yeah.
to Barry's house.
And the people would see a cop
Very-
coming up too. So
Yes, sir. Make a motion for.
I make the motion that for the pocket park, we put the stipulation of a 1 hour time limit and say for park use only.
Motion. Is there a
Second.
second? We have a second by
Second.
Councilor Hurd. Okay, Nelms, we'll leave it to Nelms. This is just your-
Now, Berkeley,
all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, nay.
Get you into trouble.
That motion passes 5-0. With that, public safety is adjourned.